So you're building a brand new home of your own. And the question is, do I really need a home inspection on this brand new home, Steve? Well, there's a couple things we're going to take a look at before we can answer that. First, let's look at what is actually going to happen during a home inspection. What is the home inspection really going to discover or help you with? Then we'll also look at any of the pros and or cons, if any, that may exist with a home inspection on a brand new home. Then we'll be able to answer that question better as to whether you should really have a home inspection. What does the home inspection do for, well, really any house? First thing they're going to do is they're going to check the condition and, more importantly, the performance of your major structural systems in the house. The major structural systems in the house they're going to be checking are the HVAC system, the electrical lines, the plumbing, any of those major systems in the house. Now, when I say the performance, they're going to be looking at things such as, whether there are leaks, whether the HVAC system is actually, is the AC cold enough? Is the heat, the furnace actually functioning? Is there a problem? They're also going to notice things that might be problems or signs of problems or damage with those systems, such as, is there rust in the furnace, and if so, where? That's probably more important as to whether there is or is not rust. The approximate wear and tear that they notice on those things. We'll come back to that in a little bit when we talk about some of the cons, but essentially they want to know is, as of today, is that heating and cooling, is that electrical system, is that plumbing system functioning, performing properly, and doing the job that's expected of it? In addition to that, another major part of a home inspection is any of the structural components of the house are going to be examined. So for example, foundations, roofs, two of the biggest costs in homes, as well as structural components such as, are there cracks in the foundation? Are there visible signs of leaks or water damage? Is there, what kind of condition is the roof in? I will also say they might try to anticipate how much life is left on those systems, meaning, hey, look, I imagine you probably have 5 years left on those roof shingles. Or you know what, it was a 30-year roof, it was done 20 years ago, you probably got somewhere between 8 and 10 years left on that roof. Again, they're going to be looking at things like that. They're not making any guarantees, and we will talk about that shortly here as well. So they're going to look at that. They're also going to look at, are there any sort of possible code violations or hazards that exist in this house? Meaning, is your electrical system improperly grounded? Are there some sort of, pipes were added, something was added to the system, and it was not done to code at the time the work was done? Or maybe they would recommend, hey, look, this might not be original work here. You might want to look and see if you can find a permit that allowed this work to be done, and then make sure that the work was, of course, completed to code at that time. The other thing that's typically not discussed during those new home inspections, when people hire an inspector, although they think it will, are what I would call cosmetic defects in the house. Those are the things that, you're not a big fan of the way the trim looks. Maybe it was done a little sloppy. Maybe it needs a little extra caulking. The trim, the baseboard's not quite level. Those sort of things. Typically, when you hire a home inspector, they are not going to be looking for those items. Why? Because really what they're looking for is the performance, the integrity, and the structural security of the home. What you're talking about, if you're looking at just the cosmetic features of the house, that's something your builder should be going over with during what we might call a new home orientation with the builder. A lot different than hiring your own private home inspector. So let's talk a little bit more about those pros and cons. First con of which, if there is one, is the fact that Again, they're not going to be going over any cosmetic defects in the house, any sort of work that is done, but maybe not done the same way that somebody else might do it. So if you were looking to see that taken care of in that inspection, I'm sorry, that is probably not going to happen for you. Not a reason to hire a home inspection. Other reason why maybe not to hire a home inspection only comes down to one other thing I can think of, and that is cost. Typical home inspection in this area is probably going to run you anywhere from $350 to $500. They will do a thorough job. They are inspected by, in this case, Pennsylvania does have some regulations as to who can be home inspectors and who cannot be. But worst case scenario is you spent those couple $100 and you didn't have to. So really that's the only cons that might exist when hiring a home inspection. There are some pros, of course, and the first is, hey, you're getting a third-party, independent, unbiased inspection. Okay, you're hiring somebody else, the builder's built the house, the superintendent's been there every day. You've probably been there once a week as well. So you all have seen this house at every stage of the way. And maybe you need that third party, that extra set of eyes to come in, take a look at it, and give you their unbiased evaluation. Let them go through the house. It's something brand new to them. They haven't actually seen the property before. So they have an interest in making sure they go top to bottom in the house, performing their work in a professional way as they always would. The other advantage that might come with it is, of course, the peace of mind, especially if you've been working with your builder and you're not quite fully trusting of that builder. If maybe there's been some problems or hiccups along the way, this could give you the peace of mind. You know what? If the home inspection finds the same concern that you had, then you know what? It is a legitimate concern that needs to be addressed. If you were concerned about it, the builder said, hey, it's not really a big deal. We can take care of that. We'll do this, this, and this. You hire an inspector comes in and says, hey, look, it's not really a big thing. I would expect that the builder does this, this, and this. And it lines up with exactly what the builder says. Hey, everybody's happy. They knew what should be done. And you, more importantly, can rest easy knowing that exactly what was supposed to be done is being taken care of. Now, let's go back to the main point is, well, Steve, this couple $100 extra, should I really even do that? You know, doesn't my warranty, cover a lot of this stuff? Why would I do such a thing? Well, again, if you are having some issues, I would say mainly if you're having some trust issues with the builder, it's probably a couple $100 well spent to make sure that you get the peace of mind knowing that your biggest investment really is done the right way for you. Other reasons to take a look at it is, hey, you know what? If your builder is not going to be giving you a what I would call a good warranty, meaning they're not really standing behind their product, or they give you, drives me crazy. They're like, oh, we give you a 1-year warranty. Well, guess what? It's because in this state, you have to give me a 1-year warranty. That's like the minimum you're allowed to get away with. And then, of course, if they drag their feet on an issue, lo and behold, you report it, but it took them months to get there. Hey, you're out of warranty, blah, blah, blah. If you feel that you might be in a situation like that, especially with a 1-year warranty on the structure, probably not a bad idea to invest those few extra bucks and get you the peace of mind. If, on the other hand, the builder's making sure that you're getting all your manufacturer's warranty, is also going out of their way and arranging to have a extended structural warranty for you, such as a 5-year, more commonly found will be a 10-year warranty or more, then again, and you can trust that builder, then maybe it's not worth the couple $100, because again, just because you have a home inspection does not mean you will not have a new home orientation with the builder. Typically, that's something different. We can talk about that at another time. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about the warranties, and maybe that'll help you figure out whether you should or should not hire a home inspection, I would tell you, watch my video. I'll put a link to it somewhere around here, all about home builders' warranties, what they do and what they don't cover, what to expect during those warranties. But as far as hiring an inspection on a brand new home, it's not necessarily something that happens on every single house. I mean, for doing this for 20 years, I can tell you there definitely are some people who do invest in a private home inspection being performed on the house. How frequently? Oh, I don't know. Less than 20% of homes have that done. Of course, I've usually worked with more reputable builders, so if I was working with some shifty builders or something, that might be a different story. Maybe that number gets higher. If the builder was only providing a 1-year warranty, I would certainly anticipate that inspection percentage to go much higher. But ultimately, it is your house, it is your investment, and truly, usually you cannot waive your right to a home inspection, meaning if you choose to hire an inspector, that's on your own dime. You pick the inspector. Most agents, including myself, I'm not going to direct you. I will tell you, look them up in the phone book, Google them. There's plenty in the area. But this way, builder, independent agents such as myself, nobody else can be accused of tainting your inspection process. This is your brand new home. We want you to be confident in it, and it should be bringing you decades of joy to come. Hey, thanks so very much. And if you have any other questions with brand new homes, I look forward to making sure you get the right information and you're well taken care of.